We now begin looking at our primary activity class for this app, the Slideshow class. And as you can see here, we have quite a number of import declarations, most of which we've actually used in prior apps, but there are a couple of new ones that I'd like to point out. First of all, we have here at line 10 the import of the content resolver class. And we're going to be using a content resolver to interact with what are known as content providers. Content providers, as their name implies, provide content to your app. And there are a number of built-in content providers in Android. For example, there's a content provider that allows you to grab images from the gallery. There's a content provider that allows you to access the music that you have in the device's music collection, and there can be many others as well. So we'll be taking advantage of a built-in content resolver to help us locate images and also media of any kind really on disk between this app and the enhanced slideshow that we'll look at in a later chapter, or a later lesson rather, as well. Now we also have use of the bitmap factory class, and we'll be using this to help us load up bitmaps of the images that we'll be using within the slideshow. We have the import at line 19 here of the so-called media store class, and this is going to help give us access to bitmap images, and in particular thumbnails for the images that we'll be using in the slideshow. We'll use the thumbnails to display number one, a thumbnail image to go along with each slideshow in the main activity list, and then separately when we're viewing and editing an individual slideshow and we're showing all the different images within that slideshow, we'll display a thumbnail for each individual image. And then finally, one other new feature that we're using in this class is the array adapter class, and this is going to allow us to populate a list view using an array backing store, if you will. Now, as far as our slideshow class is concerned, you can see that it extends list activity. And here at the beginning of the class definition, we have at line 39 a public static final string called name extra, and this is going to be a piece of extra information that we use when we launch one of the other activities in our app so that the other activities know which slideshow to be manipulating, whether it is the slideshow editor class where we'll be editing a slideshow, or the slideshow player class where we'll be playing a slideshow. And then finally, we have a couple of other pieces of data inside of this class as well. We have a slideshow list, which is a list of slideshow info objects. We have the reference to the list view, which is where we'll display a thumbnail and the name of each of the slideshows. And then finally, we have our slideshow adapter, which you'll see later on in this class is a nested class that provides the adapter for populating the list view.